अब हामी सुरु गरौँ त हैन सर?
Sir, please come to this group. मैले सेयर गरिनँ सर यो ग्रुपमा किनभने यहाँ जुममा आइसकेपछि उनीहरूले समस्या कता के भन्ला नि फेरि Okay, so what should I do? I think I have to share my screen.
Okay, sir. Okay, so at the first, I would like to welcome Govinda sir to our university, Midwest University, and it's our great collaboration also, and we can do collaborate in different like assignment perspectives and classroom perspectives. That's why I would like to welcome you and thank you for accepting my invitation to joining with us, and I would like to request you to proceed on, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Edu sir. It's my pleasure to be connected with you from Itari to Surkhet, Tribhuvan University, Janta campus to Midwestern University. I'm really happy because we have been sharing, exchanging the ideas. I'm trying to share my screen over here, but participant screen sharing host disabled. You have disabled me to share my screen. Can you?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
And
now you can do, sir. Now.
Okay, sir. I will try. That's fine. So I have some slides. I don't know whether it supports your students there or not. However, I try my best to present some ideas, the ideas which I have been sharing with my students here in Janta campus. Okay, so Marxist approach to CDA. Marx. So we try to Marxist approach or Marxist theory is a very well-known, famous theory in the world, but we try to connect it to critical discourse analysis, since we have been dealing with critical discourse analysis over here. Namaste, everybody. I'm Govinda Puri from Janta Multiple Campus, Itari, and I'm really thankful to my colleague Edu Gyawali sir. Last time he gave a talk to my students online, and today he provided me the next opportunity to be connected with you. I would like to welcome all of you in my session over here.
Thank you.
So the first, we want to talk about the Karl Marx. You might know who is Karl Marx. Karl Marx is, or his full name is Karl Heinrich Marx, and I have just put there one cover of the book. That's capital. This is authored by Karl Marx. It's a very famous book, and Karl Marx was born on 5th May 1818, and he died on 14th March 1883. So he was a German philosopher, economist, historian, sociologist, political theorist, journalist, and socialist, revolutionary. So, very dynamic scholar, let's say philosopher, whose role was very dominant, not only in politics, but also in sociology, in media, in economics, even in discourse analysis. So everywhere. So Karl Marx. So his theory, particularly he published two books. One is Das Kapital, which was published in 1894, and the next one is his Communist Manifesto, that was published in 1848. So both books were very great contribution to the world from Karl Marx. Okay, so let me. This is the cover of the Communist Manifesto, the book I have just put here for you. And let's little bit talk about his life. So he was born in Trier, Germany, and then Marx studied law and philosophy at university. Actually, he married Jenny von Westphalen in 1843. This is his life. So what is Marxism? So let me come to the Marxism, the theory developed by Marxist. Marx theories about society, economics, and politics are collectively known as Marxism. So as I already told you, Marx is dominant in sociology, in economics, politics, and in other fields as well. His theory, collective theories in sociology, economics, politics, is collectively called Marxism. And Marxist concepts took power in a variety of countries in the late, or let's say in the 20th century. During 20th century, his theory, his concept was dominant everywhere. So critical linguistics and critical discourse analysis, so which are related to us, have been shaped by Marxism in the late 20th century. And Marx gave us a theory of society. That means, he provided an explanation of how society works, of how and why history has unfolded, and especially an account of the nature of the capitalism. So I already told you his, famous book, Capital, Das Capital. So this book talks about the capitalism, okay, how capitalism functions in the society. Let's go to Marxist CDA. This is our concern, critical discourse analysis, how we can connect Marxist or Marx to our field in our critical discourse analysis, since we are studying the discourse very critically. So this Marxist CDA, or critical discourse analysis, is also known as critique of global capitalism. Critique of global capitalism. This is, basically criticism on capitalism or capitalist society. And it is the reference made on Marxist ideology of class. Marxist ideology, I hope you understand what ideology means. So ideology of class, conflict, and revolution by Fairclough and Graham. Fairclough and Graham has written the article. So which article is prescribed in our course of CDA in master's, second semester students here in our university. But as I know, in your university, it is kept there in the third semester of YAMID. I think so. This article is prescribed for us. Article written by Fairclough and Graham. This is a little bit longer one, but provides the details of Marxism and critical discourse analysis. So Marxist ideology states that organizational structures, this is organizational structures that are not national system for performing work in the most efficient manner. Rather, they are power system designed to maximize the control and profit. So when we talk about the capitalism, it tries to control the profit system or production system in the society. So it is the critique. Marxist CDA is the critique on how social economic systems are built upon the domination, exploitation, and dehumanization by the bourgeoisie over the proletarians. So there is the clash in society, bourgeoisie, and proletariats. So there is always the class conflict as well. So this has been discussed over here. So Marx precisely gave emphasis on the dialectical interconnectivity of the language and the elements of social process. So there is, his main focus, or Marx's focus, is the dialectical process, dialectical interconnectivity, interaction. So he mainly focuses on the dialectical interconnectivity of language and other elements of social process. Okay, so his approach was profoundly transdisciplinary. He connects the discourse or language with other areas as well, equally, economics, politics, social structure, and power. So as his study drew on studies in political theory, political economy, uh, jurisprudence, also similarly philosophy, social theory, anthropology, and historiography. So it is connected. That's why it is called transdisciplinary. I think you have already discussed and learned about transdisciplinary approach to critical discourse analysis. So hope you understand here. And he emphasized that the development of critical understanding of language is central to understanding social organization and social change. So critical understanding, he always focuses on, critical understanding, critical analysis of the, social structure, organization, social change, how it, changes. And Marx is concerned with showing the historical relationship between abstract and concrete aspect of human experience. So through the development of dialectical argument, there should have the, argument, dialogues. Okay, so this is what he focuses, Marx. And Marx investigated the common meanings that accepted assumptions, definitions, and understanding within, or let's say, with the aim of revealing and opposing hidden ideologies in the society. There we can find the hidden, ideology, hidden intention. There may be the opposition, domination in the society that has to be explored through the analysis of the discourse. And that, hidden ideology, that domination can be reflected, can be represented in the discourse, in the talk. And as a critical analyst, we need to explore that. We need to, bring out, we need to try to reveal that, hidden ideology, or let's say domination. So critical discourse analysis has been influenced by Marxism, and like Marxism, it aims to challenge social dogmas of received wisdom, social dogmas. Society has always, dogmas, a kind of, ideology that is hidden in the society that has to be explored, that has to be, analyzed, Karl Marx says. So there are some basic assumptions, or let's say characteristics of Marxist approach. Let me present very quickly. I know we have very limited time, so I want to go through. So some characteristics, some basic concepts on Marxist approach are class. Marx deals with class, ideology, or conflict, economic structure, profit and exploitation, alienation, power, politics, deconstruction of community, revolution and transformation are at the heart of Marxist criticism. They were criticized, they were analyzed by Marx or Marxist. And economic situation is the most important determinant of all other aspects of society, including discourse, institutions, law, morality, and education. So among these all, Karl Marx emphasizes, or Marxist emphasizes, the economic aspects, one of the important determinant of society, social organization. So along with the discourse, so discourse is another part, and institution, law, morality, education, these all are the factors, they are contributing to regulate the society. Okay, so discourse is basically about the struggle between the classes of dominance. Discourse, so there are, I told you, bourgeoisie and then proletariats, classes in the society, they may have a kind of conflict. Okay, so in the society, in the institution, even in the school, in the university, or in any company, factory, office, wherever you see in a social organization, you can find a kind of conflict between the classes. That you can find the class. One is bourgeoisie, or let's say elite. Another one is let's say proletariat, worker, labor group, and they may have a conflict time and again. Conflict in the situation. So that conflict has been explained by Marx through discourse, and there takes place the discourse. Okay, So let me continue. And discourse is influenced by the mode of production. Production and reproduction, another part of his theory. Discourse is always influenced by the mode of productions. Okay, so major social change is not possible without revolution. Karl Marx says that there has to be the revolution, there has to be the demonstration, protest, and class, and then only we can feel the social change. Okay, so we need to protest, we need to revolt, then only we can feel the change. And during that period, and so the takes place kind of discourse, and that discourse has to be analyzed. And discriminatory or oppressing discourse is the form of capitalism. So although it's capitalist, those elite class tries to dominate, tries to suppress, and that suppression, that domination, that discrimination can be represented, can be felt in the discourse, in the talk. Okay, that has to be studied as a critical analyst from our side. So language is both implicated and exploded as the decisive element. It is an element of social life. So language is one of the element of social life, like others. So that can hint, that can represent the social domination, social ideology, power play kind of thing. So abstraction, dialogues, or let's say dialects and ideology are the three conceptual elements of discourse. There we can find the abstractions, the things can be hidden, which cannot be directly represented in the discourse, that can be implicit, that can be hidden, that has to be analyzed through discourse analysis. So dialects and then ideology, which ideology has been played over there in the discourse. Okay, so dominant classes will not voluntarily give up power, wealth, okay, and a privilege, so they have domination over the people's discourses. This is the natural phenomena, that nobody wants to lose their power and position. Okay, they struggle for preserving, for keeping the power and position alive. Okay, continue, they dominate others. Okay, they dominate others, they discriminate. So this is how the society goes ahead. And let's say how we can use Marxist criticism in discourse. According to Marxist, discourse reflects those social institutions out of which it emerges and is itself a social institution with a particular ideological function. So look at there. Marxist says that a discourse reflects those social institutions. So the social institution, I already told you, in our society existing, okay, in various forms, so out of which the discourses emerge. We find the discourse, for example, media house, media discourse. Okay, similarly, the educational institution like university, colleges, schools, they can produce the educational discourses. The discourse comes from that social institutions, and itself, and also the discourse is one of the institution. So the Marxist critique simply is a careful reader or viewer who keeps in mind the issues of power and money and any of the following questions. There are some questions, but Marxist particularly focuses on the money, economics, and power. So how money or how power is reflected in the discourse, that has to be studied. And how does discourse differ from class to class, one class to another class? Maybe the discourse produced in elite class or high class, sophisticated class. I mean, let's say Rana family, or the people of educated family, how they discuss, how they talk, how they write, and then people who are in the slum community. So that can be different. So similarly, how does discourse dominate the people, and how it is imposed upon the have-nots? So there are two classes, haves and have-nots. Okay, so discourse, with the help of discourse, people dominate the language. Okay, by the use of language, they dominate. And what types of language has been used to dominate, to create the discrimination? That has to be studied, that has to be analyzed from our side. And how do the oppressed overcome oppression? Oppressed people, how do they overcome? So critical discourse analysis, when we talk about it, we always think that we should think that, it has to bring some changes in the society. It has to, or it should try to solve the problem. Then only it becomes the critical analysis or critical theory always attempts to improve the social life, okay, solve the social problem, okay, tries to transformation is the goal, and it always looks at the domination, discrimination, inequalities like this. Okay, so what does the CDA work say about oppression, or are social conflicts ignored or blamed elsewhere? So it has to do it. And similarly, does the work propose some form of utopian vision as a solution to the problems encountered in the work? So these are the questions that CDA has to address. So let me come to the conclusion now. We can conclude, Marxist CDA views that there is a difference between haves and haves not, or let's say have nots. There are two classes of people. There are socioeconomic classes in the society. We always find the classes of the people, class conflict is the Marx theory. Okay, and then our societies are full of biases, or let's say, biasness we can find in the society. And there can be domination and injustice, and there is a great separation from the aristocrats. So how that domination, that biasness, that injustice can let's say are reflected, are represented in the discourse, in the talk, in the let's say in the interaction, that has to be analyzed. If we adopt this approach, then we can analyze and solve the problem. So an ideology is a belief system, so it maintains the power in society, Alois. So ideology, I think I should not tell you in detail. So there is exposition of power in the discourse. So power play, discourse always, plays the power, or exposition of power in discourse. We can find it is the means to support the suppression over the proletariats. And discourse shows different classes. Okay, discourse shows different classes means, I already told you that, the existing situation, existing classes, existing domination can be found in discourse. So discourse shows that class, their identity also. Okay, the language is spoken by the high class people, let's say, or bourgeoisie, and the language is spoken by or used by other laymen, let's say labor class people, can be different. So that can show, a discourse shows the pains, suffering of the people, ideology of the people, and the exercise of power, and so on. So that is also so the haves have dominant discourse. Haves means, I already told, haves and have nots, the two classes of people, and have nots have the dominated discourse. This discourse should be differentiated. So the aim of Marxist CDA is to establish socialism. There are two poles of political life as well. So as you know, there is a capitalism and another one is socialism. And always Marxist aim is to establish socialism in the society, in the world. So, and communism throughout the world via critical analysis. What is the importance of critical analysis? Why should we analyze the discourse? Because to bring some changes to solve the problem, we always try to trigger or try to solve the problem existing there and maintain the injustice, let's say justice and equality in the society. So this is the aim. And thus, finally, while making the critical discourse analysis from Marxist lens or Marxist perspective, we need to see how all these factors above are related and expressed in any form of discourse. Okay, so we have learned, there are so many, genres of discourse, like media discourse, like political discourse, like legal discourse. Okay, so in this discourse, while analyzing them, we need to see these things from Marxist point of view. So this is all. Thank you so much for listening to me and for inviting me to talk to you. Thank you so much, Edu sir. Over to you.
Okay, thank you, Govind sir. Thank you, Govind sir, for your time. So if you have anything to ask with him or to share with him, you could do this thing. Otherwise, we can conclude the class for today.
Yeah, I have a question here.
Okay, go on.
Yeah. So in postmodern practice, how can we signify Marxism?
Very good question. So how can we, signify? That means how do we, relate, or is the Marxist approach still relevant to postmodern period or not? So okay. So what I think is that it is only my perception. Okay, in postmodern, let's say era, postmodern time, Marxist can be also modified. And critical theorists, let's say critical theories, they have modified the Marx perspectives. Marx is not limited to the domination or class conflict only now. Okay, it is modified and it looks all the dimensions of the society, all factors of the societies, all elements of the society together, like including later the neo-Marxist or critical theorists later, they modified the Marxist and then adapted to the postmodern era. I mean, it is adapted. That means it covers the all aspects of society, like culture, like personal agency, freedom, individual choices, flexibility. So that I hope some parts of Marxist are modified and adapted to the postmodern era as well. Subhash?
Okay.
Yeah, so can we say the Frankfurt School is the another like postmodern version of Marxism?
Yeah, exactly. Modified post Marxism. Really, they were the Marxist, neo-Marxist.
Neo-Marxist.
Okay, Frankfurt School, neo-Marxist. But they did not follow the orthodox version of Marxist exactly, but they modified later. They modified and they made it apt to the society. So thank you for your question.
Okay, so thank you, sir. And here I would like to welcome Parmod Subedi sir from Kolpur campus. That is one of our constituent campus also. He is joining us here today. That's why I welcome you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
So would you like to say anything from your side? So you may have 2 minutes more.
Oh yeah, actually I could not listen all the class. It's because I was trying to connect my students here, and I think 1 or 2 of them have joined this class today.
Great, sir.
And thank you, Edu sir, for allowing us to be here in this platform. And I think one question was there: what is the significance of Marxism in postmodern era? And can't you see the class gaps even in the postmodern era? You can see in this pandemic situation also there is the gap between haves and have-nots. Isn't it significant this time?
Yes, I agree, Pramod sir. Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is just one thing that clicked me. Okay, and I think Govinda sir has covered most of the topics regarding Marxism, and it was just 30 or 40 minutes class, I think. So it could have been extended too. Okay, thank you, sir. And I think Gambhirnath Yogiji is here, one of the students of BMC Kolpur, and I think another also might be from Kolpur. But name and video is not given here. Okay.
So thank you, Pramod sir, and we'll be together again. Then here now, let me welcome to our assistant Dean, Mr. Vishnu Kumar Kharka. He's also joining us today. So what is his reflection to this class and what he wants to address to us? Just I want to give him some time.
Okay, thank you, Edu sir. Are you listening to all of you?
Yeah,
Hello.
we are listening.
Okay, thank
Yes,
you,
sir, we are
Yeah,
listening to you.
perfect.
and Govind sir for facilitating and coordinating, and it's a wonderful class that I have watched truly. It was a marvelous moment for me to see you all in this virtual situation. It's due to the COVID-19 pandemic throughout the world, we are compelled to do so. Though we are planning to have some virtual classes from the very beginning. It's a challenge as well as the opportunity. I would like to congratulate to all the teams uh, for your great efforts that you have started in such a um, difficult situation as well. Uh, it's a kind of opportunity as well to have the guest classes from the different scholars from the throughout the world. And Edu sir is coordinating for uh, this class, and he is really one of the uh, uh, great scholar in our university. We respect and we appreciate his effort. And I would like to thank to Govinda Puri sir for your wonderful presentation and sharing to our students. And
Thank you. My
Pramod sir,
pleasure.
you tried your best to coordinate to all the to your students as well. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Okay, welcome, sir. So, in this way, today we are concluding our class, and I would like to thank Govinda sir for your
My
collaborative
pleasure.
efforts, and our cooperation will be continuous. I hope this, and just so we can develop some projects among our students and we faculties. We can develop, for example, we can do some types of research collaboratively because that there is the context of Tribhuvan University and here is the context of Midwestern University. Now
Yeah.
here we are three different, we two from Midwestern University, one from Tribhuvan University, and we can develop the project in faculties and we can develop project for the students also. And I hope so. And once again, I would like to thank you for your efforts, and I would like to thank Pramod sir, and I would like to hearty thank to Vishnu Kharga sir, the Assistant Dean of Faculty of Education, Midwestern University, for his support. And I hope we can do more things. And I'm also planning to arrange one conference, virtual conference, and hope your help at the time also. Okay, thank you.
Sure. Thank
Okay,
you.
great.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Okay,
Okay.
see you
Goodbye.
next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Wow.